And
We are now streaming on Facebook.
we are now streaming. Yay! Hello, everybody. I'm just here, not sure, just getting out of CF, and I'm still super fried, but let's see what happens. And yeah, so I'm here with Andrew Gardella. Thank
That's
you so
me.
much, Andrew, for being here.
What?
Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. Sorry, I'm just trying to share our live.
Okay, yeah. And I just want to make sure that, yeah, I think we are. And yeah, okay, yeah, we are. So cool.
Oh, there we go.
Awesome. So
Oh.
okay.
Yes. What? What are we talking about? What are we doing? Sorry.
What are we doing here? That's what I'm wondering right now. So we are, so yeah, there is actually, so I just wanted to ask you because I saw like this amazing creation coming up and I was just, okay, Andrew. So truly, what is creating for and with your body for you?
Well, I don't know. Hold on, I'm trying. All right, I got it to one page. There, I shared. Cool.
Okay,
Done.
good.
Hi, everyone. Now I can pay attention and put my phone away. I don't know what. I think the idea of creation with your body is actually a question. Like, what would creation with your body be, Diana?
Oh, yeah.
And that different than someone else. But we tend to, when it comes to bodies, we like, especially with bodies and everything else in our life. But I see it a lot with bodies. Everything gets classified. Like what's appropriate for one body is appropriate for the other, or like, oh, this is what you should do for your body because this is what's healthy. But what if that isn't actually true? What would like creation with your body would actually be asking a question and looking at, okay, so, and asking your body, okay, so body, what activities would be healthy for you, or what activities would be creative and generative for you? Because it's different for everyone.
Exactly. And I think like this society like makes it just so like everything is just so standard and it's like even I was posting the other day like doctors is like they just tell you like okay you're sick and this is going to last like 3 days and this is what's going to happen and everything is like so categorized that like people are not really like that aware of like how can they work with their bodies. And yeah, so I wonder like when did you started actually like having this awareness? And
Well,
yeah.
I realized pretty early on because I used to wrestle. So I
Oh
was
wow.
in high school and college, but like especially in high school, I started having a lot of difficulties with my body, um, in just where it was I wasn't performing at my best, or I was trying to look at how to perform my best. And there was off and on periods of where I would be really sick and I'd still have to wrestle. So it was like through all of that and wanting to improve and compete at, be the best. And I started realizing, oh, I needed to do things differently with my body.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially I would get really nervous and or like just sick to my stomach sometimes. So I couldn't eat. But for other people it'd be okay. So I started realizing, okay, like my body, like things that are different. And I started listening to other people like about the advice they give, but it would never work for my body. So I realized, I'm like, okay, I can't listen to these people, and I have to find out what actually works for me. And especially when I started going into college, I really started realizing, okay, and looking at, okay, so what's going to work for me? Because I was reading all these different things and everyone's like theory and everything, but I realized, okay, I can try this stuff, but I actually have to find out what works for my body. Because there's, I see some people doing this and they're having success with it, but I would do it and it wouldn't get the same results. Or, I would do something that other people say shouldn't be doing, but my body would like, I would feel better and I would feel great. So I realized, okay, like what applies to me might not necessarily apply to other people, but it's still something like, it doesn't matter whether it applies to other people. It matters what's going to work for me. Because like one of the things I realized was one of the tortures, like when I was working out a lot, my legs would always get tired because, between running and wrestling, like it's a lot of exercise. And so one of the things I found in college was I could do ice baths, where I actually put my legs in like cold water, and that would always help, pump like all the acid and stuff out of my muscles. And so like my legs never got tired or exhausted after that point. Was it not like, and to other people, they're like, how can you do that? It's so torturous. And I was like, but one thing I realized is my body just felt better afterwards, even if it wasn't like the most fun thing to do at the time. So I started, wait, do we have questions? No, we have one. So I started realizing, oh, like what I was going for might not necessarily be the most comfortable thing with my body, but it was something of like, okay, the energy afterwards, where my body was actually better, or where it was creative, or I just had a sense of peace and ease. I was like, okay, this is what I actually have to look for and be aware of.
Yeah, and that's very funny because like every single time that I try to like follow diet or follow something that the doctor said or whatever, like I will, like my body will totally respond as the opposite of it. And it was
Mm-hmm.
only like the times where I actually started like having fun with my body or doing something that it was like fun for me that it worked. But you also mentioned something that I was like that, which is like sometimes you had to do something things that were uncomfortable for you. And I know like for a lot of people like in access, they like we can have a tendency to only do like take the actions that will only be like comfortable or that it feels light. So yeah, can you like talk a little bit about that?
Well, sure. I think um, like most of the times what we look at as comfort, especially when we come to body, is like it's our comfort zone. So that like we don't want to move outside of it, and so we don't want to do anything with our body that would put us outside of that either. um but like one of the things I realized is whether it's like psychological or physiological, with like your actual physical body, like we like it kind of parallels. So it's like whether you're like, if you're not willing to go like
Right.
with your body, it's because they're like, it's not only like a physical resistance, you have like a mental resistance to
Yeah.
it. And oftentimes, like when people look at changing their body, there's always something they're not willing to do because they're like, oh no, I don't want to do that, or oh no, I can't do that, that's like uncomfortable, or oh no, I want to do it, but I want to change
That
this, but I
doesn't
don't
like
want to do that or that. It's like, okay, well, not necessarily saying you have to, but you have to actually be willing to look at what works for your body from its like point of view, from its awareness, not like, and do that. It's like now I'm doing um like I used to do like wrestling and everything, which is so much intensity, like really, extreme all the time. And now I'm like, okay, body, like I try to do that and it doesn't have the same. I'm like, whatever, it's not interesting. And so now my body wants to do like Pilates and like reformer stuff and stuff that's very proprioceptively and like kinetically inclined. So it's like, I'm doing something called gyrotonics, which is like, there's a lot of like movement like with your body through the range of motion it should have and the proprioception it should have, but it doesn't have to be very quick. It's like slow, and it's not like super. It's intense in like the presence it requires and stuff, and like it's really aggravating me because I'm like, oh, I'm just doing this with 10 pounds weights and my arm is like
it.
shaking and it doesn't want to go in a certain area, and I'm like, oh wow. But afterwards I notice like no matter how difficult it is or uncomfortable it is, my body actually has a sense like it just feels better, and it like, I notice the thing, so I'm like, okay, I'll keep doing this even though it's kind of like the thing you love hate. You're like, I hate this while doing this.
Hey, that was, yeah, exactly. Wow, that's so cool. And especially because it's like you're bringing up like such a different space to like be and function with your body, which is totally like beyond the comfort zone or totally beyond just whatever you concluded your body likes or doesn't like. And to actually like a space of like almost like exploring and working with your body of like what's gonna create the most result. And that's
Yeah,
awesome.
well, and I mean, with a lot of things we talk about in access, like what was in the past might not be relevant now.
Right.
That still applies with your body. Like the amount of times like I'm like, for we'll talk about asking your body. Okay, so ask your body what it would like to eat. So just because I went to a restaurant one time and I asked my buddy what I wanted to eat, and I got this meal and it was fabulous, it was delicious. I was like, but the amount of times I go back to that restaurant and I ask for the same meal and it doesn't taste like the same, it's like different. It doesn't like it's not like oh, and I'm like, okay, well, what is it? Well, what if there's nothing wrong with that, or what if it's just not actually what your body requires at the time? But that applies to everything too. It's like there's so often times, whatever it is, whatever, we can just say their energies, whether it's like clothing or food or just like a place to live or places that you enjoyed going or movement. It's like all different energies that can contribute to your body. But what if your body actually changes? Like maybe it requires a different energy or something different.
Exactly. And it's just so, like I used to be, and most people trying to like control in a sense of like, oh, I decided that I like this, so I'm always gonna like this, and if I go to this restaurant, this is what I'm gonna order. And it's like we create all these conclusions that at the end of the day, like after doing body, like the 3-day body classes, for example, like with you and other facilitators, like I started actually realizing like, holy shit, my body doesn't even really like this anymore, like for a long time. And then like opening up to like so many other different things that I never thought was even a possibility for me, for example, to like try. And so I think this is, yeah, so like it's so much fun and so much to like explore in terms of like creation with your body, and not only like in terms of like the like the food or the exercise, but also like I wonder like about actually like creations and actualization of like all different areas. Like how do you see that, for example, in terms of like when like create in the creation of money, or when you're doing business and yeah, like
Well, I think one of the important thing to real no, I don't think it's important. It's just something is it's like creation isn't static. So creation with your body isn't like a static thing. It's not like something you get to and then you're set.
yeah.
There's no like cruise control for creation. It's like, it requires presence, it requires awareness, it requires change. So with that, whether it's with your body or with like your business or whatever, when you're actually looking at what true creation is, well, like there's no like stopping,
Yeah.
like a stop. It's like, okay, cool, created this, or okay, we're moving this direction. What else is possible? What's next? Or, and if you're looking at like, okay, including your body in your creations, well, for everything that concerns your body, you can ask it to contribute. You can ask it to show you, okay, well, what else is possible here? Okay, body, show me what other ways can we make money?
Where's the money?
Yeah. Or, okay, so, what other possibilities are available? Especially for business, it's like, you know, if we look at like, there's you, the body, and, you, like you, the being, well, they're finding your body's kind of like your, the universal address book in a way. It's like,
Yeah, I love that.
talk to the body.
Holy shit,
Um,
I love that.
so it's like, if people want to look you up in the phone number, like in the phone book, it's like your body is that. So it's like your body can connect you with all those things. And what other ways can your body actually connect you with creations that you haven't
And the
considered
GPS.
or acknowledged? Yeah, well, it has a GPS, but it also, it's there out in the world.
Yeah,
Other bodies can talk to it.
exactly. That's so cool. So we actually have one question,
Yeah,
and
one.
well, others, but so like, what about intensities?
Well, I think we kind of talked about intensities too, when we said, um, the uncomfortable thing, because usually when people are like, oh, it's too intense, that's where they actually get uncomfortable. Um,
Right. But can it go the other way around too? Like, can it go
what's
out
the
the people who are like, just I just like intensity and everything has to be
yeah,
intense?
it can. I mean, but that's still the same. It's their comfort. So it's like, well, what, like, you like intense. Well, is that intensity like refusing intensity or like always making sure something's intense? Either way, it's like there's, that's the conclusion of the way things have to be. Like it could include both. It could be intense. It could be, intensely peaceful. It could be intensely fun. There's lots of different ways it could go intense, but a lot of times people either use intensity as like proving they have to do it or like why as a justification for why they shouldn't do it.
Exactly. Love it so much. Wow. I think there's just so many things here, and I wonder what are the infinite possibilities with this class. So I just want to like just talk about this super invitation of this amazing class that Andrew Gardella is starting on October 6th, and it's called Creation for and with your body. And it's gonna be actually like it's a 6 part telecall. So holy shit. I wonder. So I'm just super excited about this creation and for you, Andrew, to be here. And yeah, so is there anything else? Is there anything else that you would like to tell people about this class, Andrew?
Sorry, what? Oh, that was me. I wasn't sure if it was your internet that was bad or mine,
Is
but
it mine or
it
is
was
it?
mine.
I don't even know
Oh
because
well.
I also.
I
Okay.
don't know. It's always you were stuttering, but then it said my connection was unstable. So
Oh, okay. Babe.
it's definitely me then. Um, yeah, I think I I don't really know where it's going to go. Like you
Yeah,
said, we were saying creation isn't static. So, and I think it really depends on the people and the bodies that show up and what their questions are and what contribution can I be to them and their bodies and their creations.
love that. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. And guys, I'm just gonna be sharing the links and the information in the comment section of this live. And yeah, so thank you so much for all of you for being here and watching. And thank you, Andrew, for being here. Super, super grateful. Thanks for your time.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Ciao.